Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answerman. I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. I have with me Eric Ice McCabe.
Ice baby, in fact.
Robert Guitar McCall.
Yeah, that's me. Just playing the guitar every day.
I was trying to think of something that I've seen you doing the other day. You were taking your guitar back in.
That's true.
So, anyway, we are Disc Golf Answer Man. We are a podcast show where you send in questions and we try to answer your disc golf questions. We have not very many speak pipe questions, but we have several Google form questions, so we'll get to those here in a minute. But first, Eric,
what's up?
What's going on with you lately?
Nothing.
Nerfing.
Let's see. Well, I just got back internationally.
Yes.
Traveling to Canada. We talked about that quite a bit last week. This is going on a lot lately.
Hey, you're
holding
like it.
For you audio listeners only, it is... Just go to YouTube and watch this video because this thing is gorgeous.
Yes.
Or go to my Instagram account because I've made many posts about it. It is the Lucid X Ice EMAC Truth with the ghost stamp. This thing is just gorgeous.
It's looking pretty good.
Look how clear it is.
It's super clear.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I was going to say, after you take it out to the course, you'll definitely want to buy some Windex to clean it.
Yes.
Because it's just like a window.
Don't commit any crimes because it definitely shows fingerprints. But no, it's great. I actually took it out last week, one of them, and was throwing it around. And it's nice and beefy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And people are complaining, thinking, "Oh, I'm going to lose that." You know, it's like
Not if you throw it in the fairway.
you really don't. And it's predictable. You're not going to lose it. And honestly, there's only 300 of them, so it's really more about a collector's item than a thrower. But if you want to throw it, you absolutely can.
Yep. You're going to like it.
How pretty is that?
That's very pretty.
She's a beaut.
She's a beaut. Now, what do you got set up for GBO? You got the courses all ready to go?
Nope.
What do you got left to do?
I do not.
I do not. Let's see. We're going to start painting all the OBs this Thursday, so everything's down and nice and fresh. So I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday are the days we're going to be out painting, flagging. Friday or Saturday, one of those 2 days are the days we're actually setting up the Muni courses.
Oh, cool.
So baskets will be out there in the ground, both courses. You'd be able to start playing that on Sunday from 7 to 7.
Nice.
Get out there. I think that's $10 a round since it is a private course. You got to pay that fee. But those courses are amazing. I really enjoyed helping design both of those. And it's something special out there. It really is. You get to play on a golf course, but it's not what you would think as far as, man, golf courses, they're typically really long and lots of OB. Not necessarily the case out at the Muni. There's a few longer holes, but it's beautiful.
Quick question about the Lucid X EMAC.
So-
Chris Goodrich asked if they fly like last year's runs. And they feel different, so talk about that first.
They do feel a little different. They actually have a little bit more dome to them because I remember
Not crazy dome.
Not crazy.
But certainly more than last year.
Almost the perfect amount.
Like Astrodome?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Almost like
Astrodome.
that.
And so last year's were
Hippodrome
super
dome?
board flat and they weren't super overstable.
They were for a bit.
And then they beat in a little faster. But and granted, I've only played one round with this particular one, but it was noticeably more overstable.
Yeah.
2-man enter,
there you go,
1-man
Chris.
leave. Thunderdome?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're into that.
All right. Do you know what movie that is?
Thunderdome?
No.
I don't have any idea.
That's in the thing. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yes, Mad Max.
Anyway,
Oh,
Robert
nice.
McCall, how was your weekend? What do you got going on? What's up with you?
What do I have going on?
Putting any new players on the team? Firing players? What's going on?
Oh, I did.
Exclusive.
Not teasing.
We did add a new player last week. If you watch the Monkey Island Open coverage,
Yep.
there's
MIO?
a gentleman named Logan Harpool who dominated. He's been playing tournaments for about a year. He lives in Wichita, and I think he has all the tools to be a really incredible player.
Yeah, great forehand.
He's up to 990 something right now.
Yeah.
That was his second Open tournament. He won. And it wasn't dominant fashion, I guess, but he looked unbeatable that day. And but there's lots of good players. We say that all the time. There's plenty of people who are good at disc golf, but Logan's just a good dude. Like,
He is a good dude.
Really, really humble. Good guy. So yeah, we added him to the team, I guess last week. Mm-hmm. So pretty cool. Congrats to Logan. We'll see you here at GBO pretty soon.
Is he playing GBO?
I think so.
Did you guys get any disc golf in past weekend?
I played once, maybe toward the end of last week. I played golf on Friday and I played golf on Sunday. And I think I played disc golf maybe on Thursday or something like that.
I went out and played Cottonwood on Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
Afternoon, went out there by myself, got a round in. Since I'm playing Masters, I needed to get a round on it. Plus, I needed to check out the course and make sure there isn't any updates that we need to do before the event.
Looking good?
Right.
Looking wonderful.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And now that we're getting toward GBO, he's going to be doing very much course stuff. Mm-hmm. I will be doing very much commentating stuff. Bobby will be doing very much videoing and photographying and othering stuff.
So yeah, I got to play Sunday. I played some disc golf on Sunday. I played actually played around with Danny at
Danny Lindahl.
Yes, Danny Lindahl.
I've heard of him.
Jones West, and it was pretty cool.
Thanks for the invite too, by the way.
Oh,
go on though.
I'm sorry. And
West is one of the courses I will be playing.
Oh, I didn't realize. So we were warming up, and then right when we go into hole one, he says, "All right," in Danny fashion. All right. And I'm like, great. What's going on? He goes, give me 9 holes and I will add 30 feet to your distance.
Nice.
I was like,
he's never said that to me. That's not true. He's definitely said that to me. Anyway, go ahead.
So I said, all right. So he gave me a few pointers and I was like, oh, I feel like I could get more spin on the disc. And then like in the 4th hole, he gave me some more pointers. And I felt like I need to finesse what he's taught me. But it did. It made a difference.
Nice.
He said on my X step, I was reaching back too soon. Mm-hmm. And instead you do the X step and then it's hard to explain, but I was reaching back too soon. And then he was having me, when I held the disc, I can't remember how to explain it, but in other words, I had more grip on the disc, and so when I released it, I had more spin.
Nice.
Did you change your grip at all?
I didn't change the grip. It was like where I was holding the disc and where I was releasing it and bringing it through the reach back.
Nice. Did it add 30 feet of distance?
I don't know if technically it did, but it sure felt like it put a lot more spin on the disc.
Right.
And I felt like some of the throws I was having when I would get the form really good, it felt good. And I even remarked it was like, man, I feel like I have more control of the disc.
Nice. Which in return leads to confidence, which leads to better play.
Correct. So
cool.
Which leads to being 850 rated.
Exactly.
Ooh.
So
I'm going to be 850 rated by the end of this year too.
You want to race and see who gets there fast?
Let's do it.
So he specifically said he did that to make Anthony scared. So.
Ooh. Are you scared?
So anyway, good stuff. So anyway, what else? Oh yeah, speaking of Glassbone Open, if you're not aware, we have a lot of coverage going on.
Ooh,
so much coverage.
So we're gonna have Smashbox, Terry Miller, and Johnny V down here. The official, all-encompassing Smashbox, not the fakey stuff we're seeing.
The ghosts.
Yeah,
stuff.
Not putting anybody down, but we're gonna have the full-on Smashbox here doing their thing.
Like Crumble Box.
Yeah. And
Smash.
on the commentary, it's going to be Terry and Mr. McCall, correct?
Yo.
And they're going to be
live. You're doing live. Cool.
They're going to be doing live for FPO and MPO
In studio.
I think studio at the country club.
Okay, but in studio.
But yes. In studio, that's right.
And then covering MPO 1, MPO 2, and FPO 1 as post-production will be the Jomez team.
I believe it's a soft J. I think it's Yomez.
Yomez.
Apparently you just...
Yomez.
Yeah, Yomez.
Yomez. So Yomez...
Yomez Pro.
Everyone's going to be like, who's this new company?
Yeah, I never heard of them.
They're going to be out here, and this is going to be something big that I don't think they've done this much at one tournament. 3 cards.
I know they're bringing a bunch of
they're
people.
bringing a big crew, so it'd be exciting to see what they put together. And I've been talking to Juan and Jonathan here and there, and we are all super excited at Glassbone Open.
I believe it's Jonathan.
And Juan.
Whatever. It's a soft J.
You must be yoking.
I am only telling a yoke.
And then MPO 3 is the dynamic duo of Anthony and Danny.
Whoa.
Who'll be producing MPO 3 tournament coverage.
Never heard of them.
And then FPO 2 will be produced by Parsafe Productions.
Nice. There is another one. I couldn't remember the other one. Cool.
So that I think I confirmed through. I was talking to Steve Hill, and he said he believed what I said was to be true. And then I heard him mention on his podcast that this is the most covered event because we have live. Now we've
ever,
like, as far as MPO 1 through 3 and FPO 1 and 2, that's been done, but not on top of live coverage.
What's up?
So
it's what we do.
Glassbone Open, Dynamic Discs.
That bar going up.
Setting the bar all the time.
Unreachable.
Hope y'all are ready to just watch all the content. all of it.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have a crap ton.
And those cards are going to be stacked with people that people want to watch.
100%.
Yeah.
So
we're going to have a great time. We got great commentators with Big Sexy coming in for
Big
Gomez.
Sexy is going to be doing the MPO 1. MPO 2 is going to be McCall and AJ Risley.
I was saying AJ was great. Just okay, go ahead.
And then MPO 3 is going to be Eric Oakley and Chris Clemens. FPO 1 will be Paige Pierce and Zoe Andike.
Nice.
FPO 2, I'm not sure with Parsave. I need to reach out to them, see what they have planned for commentary. So just all around big media production, which is so awesome. I'm super excited.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now. So I've heard Oakley commentate. It will be no surprise to anyone who knows him. He's good at talking.
Yes.
Right? He's good at that. Right. Clemens, I think, is an extremely underrated commentator.
Yeah.
And I think you guys are going to love him. He is extremely knowledgeable, well-spoken, but also really analytical. And so if you haven't heard him commentate before, I think you're in for a treat.
Except he's a lefty.
Yeah, well, he's going to be thinking from the wrong side of every fairway, which that kind of sucks for everybody. But we're going to just grin and bear it.
Yeah. Grin and bear it. That's the motto. So glass1open.com, and they'll be under the media. There'll be a link, and I'll try to have every link possible that where you're going. And then to tell the story through pictures is going to be the famous Alyssa Van Lannen.
Yeah.
So she's going to be here doing her. People are really liking her eye for taking photos at events, and she's going to be here taking photos and things like that, of telling the story through photos.
Quick question here. Brian Beatty asks, will it be on local cable this year again?
Yes, it will.
Live broadcast.
Value Nets we have the same setup where they're going to broadcast, and like last time, I think they just turned it on and it just whatever we fed them, they did it. So it's going to be just nonstop GBO disc golf.
I went into our local hibachi place, Ichiban, a week after GBO, and they were still playing that channel.
Oh, really?
They were still playing a week later, disc golf rolling.
Nice.
So that was cool.
Awesome.
I have to make sure to create a playlist of everything, because can you imagine? I mean, that's
ridiculous.
When it's all said and done, you got live 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So that's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Carry the 1. 18 hours. Roughly.
It's going to be a lot
of disc golf.
It's a lot of disc golf
per day.
I, for one, am excited.
All right.
There's not even that many hours in a day, Bobby.
Did you say per day? It's definitely not that many per day.
Sounded better.
Listen, 20 of the 24 hours per day will have disc golf coverage.
Leap year day.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
All right, let's get to the questions. Remember, guys, as always, you can go to discgolfanswerman.com, submit your disc golf question, get it on the air. One thing I do want to mention, there was an interesting poll on Disc Golf Answer Man Facebook group. I don't know if you saw that, Robert.
Say it again. Yes, about the effects.
Someone said, ran a poll.
We can cover that.
Do you prefer? Can I? Is that okay?
Yeah, you're welcome to.
Which do you prefer? Bobby's Keep It Real voice changer? Keep it real. Or Robert's Click?
So, but it's because we don't have a sign to keep it real. It was just in the meantime.
So it looks like about half of the people prefer my voice changer. They prefer the Keep It Real. So we're going to keep that real and keep it going. Someone says neither, but love the show.
Okay,
that guy is the smart guy of the bunch.
Okay, you said half the people prefer your. That would mean we were tied. You're saying twice the number.
I'm sorry. Yes. Twice the
number who prefer the click prefer Keep It Real on the voice changer.
Correct.
Now, I will say multiple people in the comments said, I picked a voice changer, but only because I want to see how annoyed Robert gets when he uses it. So
you don't think that's a little bit of part of why I keep doing it?
I don't think so. I would never have thought of that.
Then you've never met me.
Yeah. Wait. I have exclusively met you.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to the questions. This one's from Gonzo. He says, hey, guys, thanks for all you do. I have an all Trilogy bag except for my putters. I use Wizards, and I want to know what the closest putter is to those as far as feel and flight. Thank you for taking my question. P.S. The EMAC Truth is the greatest disc ever.
Boom, roasted.
Say which putter it was at the beginning again, please.
He just says I use Wizards.
Okay, and he's trying to switch stars.
Correct.
Judge.
Feel and flight.
Feel,
Judge.
I think Judge is exactly right.
Yeah. Crown is another one I think that flight-wise would be.
Mm-hmm. I would say the Judge probably has a little more glide than the Wizard, and the Crown may be in that boat. I haven't putted or thrown the Crown a whole lot lately. But as far as the lack of glide goes, I think the Shield is probably going to be your most comparable glide. But if you're going purely based on feel, you're going to pick up a Judge and be like, okay, this feels close enough.
Yeah, Judge.
Yeah.
I would say Judge all day.
Yes.
All right, and just real quick note for you YouTube watchers, the questions, I see you guys are posting questions. Remember that we do the questions from YouTube on the after show where we just kind of sit back, relax, and talk a little bit about whatever we want to talk about, and we answer your questions. So keep those questions, and we will get to them at the end of the show on the after show. This one is from Brock.
What's up, Brock?
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man. I've been listening to you guys for a few months now and love the show. So I've been playing disc golf off and on for a few years now. I have mostly played with a forehand because that's what felt comfortable for me to start out playing with, and it's how I throw furthest. So now I'm trying to improve my backhand throw. When I go out to play, if my forehand throw is doing great, then my backhand throw is awful, and then vice versa. How can I fix this?
So basically, you're the same thing that happens to me happens to you is what you're saying. I feel like that's how disc golf and golf and those kind of sports are. Is like when one thing is working, for whatever reason, something else will just not work or not work as well as you're expecting it to.
Very rarely is everything clicking on all cylinders.
Right. I think for me, a lot of times when my forehand is feeling really good, it's because I've been practicing it a lot and being really intentional about, hitting that follow through line and, keeping my palm up and things like that. But that makes me focus a little bit less on what I'm doing backhand wise. For me, that's usually okay because I've got a lot more muscle memory in the backhand. But if I just use backhand for a long time and then need to just throw one forehand, man, it's usually trouble.
Yeah.
And so how do you combat that? I think really the only answer truly is to keep both in practice all the time. Mm-hmm. When you go out to the field, don't just practice backhand, practice forehand, or vice versa. If the forehand is your dominant throw, and make it so that muscle memory you're developing both and keeping both at the same time. I think that's really the only answer. I don't think there's a shortcut to it.
I would agree. The only other thing you can do is if your backhand's working that day, just throw your backhand. That's at the end of the day, that's what I end up doing. If my forehand is struggling, like it normally is. Yep. I just won't throw it. I'll just force turnovers or play to that strength of my game, whatever is on point at that point.
100%.
So,
especially like if I'm playing a casual round and maybe we're playing dollar or something like that, I'll still throw a forehand even if I don't know that it's the right play because I'm trying to get better. Right?
Yeah, of course.
But if you're in a
you got to put yourself in that situation.
Right. But say Monkey Island, I walked up to a hole. I had planned to throw 3 forehands per round. I knew which ones they were.
3 forehands on one hole?
Yep. It's a very long hole. No, on 3 separate holes, tee shots.
Okay. And you didn't?
The very first one I threw so bad and I lost all confidence in it just like that. And so from there on out, those other 2 forehands, now they're backhands.
That's why you threw a backhand on hole 17.
That's correct.
Yeah. I wondered that when I watched the video.
Yes, because I was terrified.
Yeah.
Because the first one that I threw was on 11. Is that the one right before the peninsula hole?
Yes. Yeah.
I threw it. I burned it so bad it didn't get to the water left.
Okay.
Like it should have. It would have gone.
Yeah, that's horrible.
It was so bad. I'm telling you, I had a 150-foot upshot. So
on a 200-foot hole.
Yes, good thing it wasn't on camera.
Which one?
Although I'd have taken that
the one right
camera.
before the peninsula that shoots to the corner where the basket sits
it's
by that
it's
little
260, 270. Yeah,
the Mando trees right in front.
I was just trying to throw a smooth, easy, fell in, and I went and then threw it in the ground, and I didn't throw any more forehands after.
No, I don't blame you. That's a tough little forehand because it's so touchy. It really is. That's not recommended to. Your first forehand of the day to be a touch shot because you're going to lose all confidence unless you park the hole.
So do as I say, not as I do. Keep them both in practice because when you get to that spot, you want to feel confident.
Yeah, exactly. They also lost a tree on that hole. The tree that I throw to.
Yep.
I lay up to that tree and have a 20-footer every time, and now it's gone.
Now I don't
even know what to do.
Yeah. Throw it in the water.
Man, I did. Yeah, exactly.
Fair.
100%.
All right, next question comes from Griffin. How do you join Team Trilogy? Well, Griffin, first you have to understand that Team Trilogy is different. Team Trilogy is not a sponsorship. So like Team Dynamic Discs, Team Innova, Team Latitude 64, those are sponsorships. They actually sponsor the athlete. Whereas Team Trilogy is just a group of fans that are like, man, we just love the 3 brands, Dynamic Discs, Westside Discs, and Latitude 64. We love it and we want to show our support. And so we're going to say that we are only going to throw from these 3 brands and we're going to call ourselves Team Trilogy. They have a team atmosphere. In other words, they have a Facebook page. Whenever they are together at an event, they hang out together. So
there's benefits as well.
Oh yeah,
discounts and all that kind of stuff. It's not just a fan base. I mean, it is a fan base, but there's perks and everything to it. But if that's the one that you're looking to join, is there a website, right? Team Trilogy.
Yes, teamtrilogy.org, and there's an FAQ page that will tell you answer every question that you have as far as if you can join or how you join and stuff like that.
And I do highly recommend it if you are a fan and your bag is full of our plastic.
There's no reason not to.
It's a no-brainer, really.
All right, this one is from Trey. Yep, Trey. I'm interested in buying a heavily wooded plot of land to convert it into an 18-hole disc golf course.
Sick.
Assuming most holes are a little shorter due to the woods, how many acres should I look for? Also, what are the fees for the dynamic course design?
Great question.
$1 million are the fees.
$1 million.
And 1 million acres. That's what we require.
$1 an acre.
It's pretty cheap when you think about it that way.
It really is. It depends on what kind of course you're looking to get. If it's going to be more of a private type of a course, basically something that you're just going to enjoy and maybe have some friends out and play. If you're planning on hosting events on it, that's a whole nother animal. But my recommendation would be 1 to 1.5 acres per hole, and that's strictly the golf side of things. That doesn't include where your home is going to be, or if you have a lake or something like that. So playable land, my recommendation is around 25 acres, just for a smaller, kind of more fun style of disc golf course. If you want to go bigger than that, I mean, bigger the better. Honestly, if you can get more than that, that's awesome. But I've put 18 holes on 17 acres of land, and that was doable. It's tight, it's a little shorter, but it is very doable. And as far as the price goes, it really does vary, variable to variable, obviously, from what you want, what kind of baskets you want, if you want tee signs, if you want course design. There's just so much of it. That's kind of too general to say, hey, this is the price, So if you do want to quote, shoot an email to coursesales@dynamicdiscs.com, and we'll be able to, get the quote out for you for exactly what you want. So yeah, that's my recommendation is shoot an email over, and we'll get you set up nicely.
Yep. Course sales, all one word.
All one word.
Excellent.
At Dynamic Discs.
Yeah, with an S.
Don't forget that S.
I have a few people over the years. I'm like, hey, did you get my email? No. And they sent it to dynamicdisc.com. Nope.
There's an S.
Do not do that.
There's an S. Well, I'm surprised that they don't get a kickback, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they saw it and they were like, no, it's just this. They were trying to keep it secret.
That could be.
I think so.
We have multiple discs.
All right, this one is from Austin. This is a GBO question, so timely. I will be driving to Emporia to watch the final day of GBO, and I can't be more excited. Real quick side note. Nice. A lot of people, a big question that people ask is, does it cost money to spectate? No, it does not.
You pay Eric
you
directly.
Pay Eric directly. Make out to
my
Eric.
PayPal is...
No, it does not cost to spectate at GBO
at all.
At all. None of the days. However, we have spectator packages. It's kind of an incentive for you to get to make it a little more, feel more part of the GBO experience.
I highly recommend it.
Yes, and you get some goodies. You get to actually, one of the things you get to do is the same thing in the players, which is get a hot, you get to do a hot stamp, get a spectator stamp on your disc.
I think the best part about the spectator pack is if you're planning on playing GBO next year, you get first available sign up.
Priority registration.
That is huge.
Yes.
So if you know you want to play the event, the spectator badge makes perfect sense.
Glassmodeopen.com, and I can't remember which tab it's under, but there's a spectator package tab there for you. Anyway, he says the schedule has the first tee at 7:30. I've never been to a pro event, and I'm curious how it works. Am I allowed to watch multiple cards during the day? Around what time will the final card tee? Also, where can I find you guys at the block party? Especially EMAC. Great, especially EMAC.
Especially EMAC with these guys.
That's what he says. I need me some Ice Lucid X EMAX. Thanks for all you fellows do.
Cool. Well, 7:30 is when the first female card is going to tee off. After the cut, right? They were having a cut, I believe, for the first time ever.
Yep.
Yes, you can watch as many cards as you want. You can sit on one hole. You can follow groups and then kind of turn around and walk back and do it again. You can do whatever you want, really. And then the final group tees off typically between 1 and 2.
I think it's going to be a little earlier this year.
No, earlier?
Yeah, because we're planning
on the last day. That's right.
Yeah, because we're planning... We're less of the field, so it'll be earlier.
That's
then
true.
we're planning for the Raz round, and then for the block party, like 5.
That's true. Well, now, if you're looking into that, look the night before when we post tee times. That would be the
100%.
best time to justify what time. But I recommend getting there as early as possible.
Definitely.
To follow around.
I think that the last MPO card will go off around noon or so.
Okay, that's great.
Yep.
Wow.
And then for the most important answer of your question, where will I be at the block party?
Yeah.
The block party. Okay, so years past I've been kind of in front of Dynamic Discs, kind of down to the east a little bit. This year I will be directly across the street from Dynamic Discs and the stage and everything like that.
So go to the retail store.
Yep. Go
Check
to the retail
stuff
store.
out.
Directly across the street is where I will be.
Is that where everybody else is going to be with their special discs?
I know myself and Paige Bierkus are sharing a table this year, so we'll be right there.
The Oakleys are usually a little. What
The Oakleys are usually on the other side
because they have their RV there.
They have the RV there. I know next to me is the Discmania guys.
Okay.
They'll be next to me. And then I'm not sure who's on the other side. I don't recall. But yeah, I mean,
they'll be pretty
honestly,
easy to spot.
this year's crazy. With the first year we've ever sold out of vendor tables.
Yeah, so there's going to be crazy
They're
stuff.
all down the streets. They're actually down the side streets this year. I know Lime Warrior will be set up on 8th Street.
Sweet.
So definitely go check out them. He's got some really cool stuff. And it's a great cause. So
Yeah.
but definitely right across the street from Dynamo Story.
Robert McCall will be in studio doing commentary the whole time.
Yep, all day on Saturday until we get to the Raz round. Once
And then
the
you're doing live commentary.
yes, once the
You're
Raz round
going to be
starts,
drinking a lot of honey tea, aren't
dude,
you?
I honestly started thinking about that today. Like
Yeah.
it's going to be seriously, I think between 7 and 8 hours of just broadcasting, each day.
Yeah,
For-
because
for
when
me.
the
You're gonna
women
have,
are
like-
done,
you're gonna have-
the men are about to tee off. Probably you probably have like a half hour
I think
break.
we'll
or
get about a
something.
half hour break. Start live on the men, and then the Jomez card either at night or early in the morning, or so I don't know when that's going to be.
It has to be at night if you're doing it because
we're gonna
early in
have
the
fun.
morning you're going to be doing live commentary again at like 8 o'clock because
Yep.
the women's
It'd have to be
half-a-day.
super freaking
This is
early.
going to sound probably like
I can't wait for this sentence to end. I'm excited about where this is going.
what I mean.
Yes.
This is probably going to sound like I'm saying that I don't know what word I'm looking for.
Hey, you know what? Hit it, dude. I'll keep my headphones on.
You'll do what? Go
ahead.
I'm about to keep it real.
I knew you wanted to.
What I was going to say is you need an assistant.
Thank you.
Assistant to the regional manager.
Yeah, assistant to the Robert McCall.
No, it's the dynamic disc manager.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry, I forgot.
No, I'm serious because you'll need someone that will do some thinking that you can't think of, like having your tea ready or having a snack, or you know what I'm saying?
I know.
That's what Taco's for, right?
And
He's the assistant.
He's got teams. He's got team people to take
I'm
care
sure he's
of.
got team stuff
Yeah,
to
I'm
do,
sure.
but I'm thinking like of a volunteer. Like maybe you need to ask Doug. Say, hey, Doug, can I have a volunteer's time to? You know what? I didn't want to
understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it won't be as bad as you're saying it will be.
No, but the reason.
But
is,
I'm also a grin and bear it type person, so it's going to be long days. no
right.
doubt.
I get it. I guess I'm just thinking this is a big production.
Yeah.
And I don't want in my mind. I'm thinking I don't want by day 2.5 for your brain to be so fried that you're not on your game. You know, so
Too late.
somebody else.
Brain's fried now, man. This is the best it gets.
Don't you hear the sizzling? We're sizzling.
This is as good as it ever
anyway,
gets.
We need to figure that out.
Sizzly.
We're gonna have fun with it, though. I can't wait.
All right, this is from an injured guy.
Oh man,
It says injured guy.
What a horrible name.
sucks.
I wonder if his name Hurts.
You are the worst.
When he rents a car, did he rent it from Hertz?
Okay, that was better. Okay, yeah.
Better. Okay. Anyway, hello. I'm right-handed. Was recently injured pretty bad. So for the time being, I can only throw left-handed. Am I able to sign up for tournaments and play in the rec division left-handed? Do my rounds need to be rated if I am a PDJ member? I usually play advanced.
Okay, so here's how that works. And
You can sign up for an event and literally not play.
What?
You wouldn't want to,
What?
but nothing is stopping you from signing up for. In other words, just because he throws left-handed doesn't mean he can't sign up for tournaments.
Well, yeah, but
I know, but he wants to play in the rec division, so it depends on his rating.
Here's the thing: you're currently in advance, which means I would assume your rating is higher than what the rec threshold is, which it has to be. If you're anything over 900, you have to play intermediate. Anything over 935, you have to play advanced. I assume you're above that, by the way that your question is phrased. So you would not be able to sign up for rec because of the ratings threshold, regardless of which hand you're playing with. Because if that was the case, say somebody like Eric could be like, hey, look, I'm going to play advanced this time around, but I'm going to play my left hand, so I should be in advanced. And then all of a sudden he just starts playing. Yeah. Then he just starts playing right hand and it smokes everybody by 20. Those sort of things, you can't allow those sort of exceptions. So you have to play by your rating to start. Now, if you're throwing with your left hand, your rating's probably going to tank pretty fast and you will be able to sign up for rec.
So play a couple?
Yeah, it won't take long. But yeah, that's it.
And then do my rounds.
Sucks to be injured, by the way.
They will be rated because you're playing a PDJ sanctioned event.
Right.
Yes.
One word of advice, though, make sure that even if you are playing with your offhand, that you're not re-injuring yourself, because the worst thing you can do after an injury is come back too quickly. That usually just makes it worse. Anytime you exacerbate an injury, that's trouble. It can honestly even be worse than the first time you injured it. So make sure that you are totally ready to go. Yeah.
All right. We only got 2 questions from SpeakPipe. Let's see if we can make this work. Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Disc Golf Answer Man? It's Tim from Northern California, and I have a question about etiquette in the fairway with the mini marker. I just started competing in the last year, and in casual rounds, my friends are pointing out that I tend to miss my mini marker in the fairway when I run up for the second shot, and I miss it by about 1 foot, typically to the left of the marker. And so my friends are like, hey, dude, you just missed your marker. So just a heads up.
Nice friends.
So my question is, one, to what extent do you guys see this being enforced in the events you play in, whether that's advanced or pro? And 2, do you have any tips for working on footwork in order to better hit that marker when running up in the fairway? So, thanks in advance, and I'll take my question off the air. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Sweet.
So
I like how he said he'll take his question off the air. He's still on hold.
I'll be waiting. Thanks.
So that's something I get nervous about too, especially that particular one of not getting close enough to your marker. Yeah. Especially when I know it's going to be a big run up because of, I've got it's a long hole and I've got basically another drive rather than
full throw.
Yeah. I sometimes, I don't know if this is just something I do. Sometimes if I know how many steps I'm going to run up, if I'm thinking, okay, this is probably going to be like 2, 3 stars, if I can feel how much, I will start
and go backwards.
Yeah, start right by the disc and take 3 steps back, knowing that I'm going to take 3 steps.
It's almost like
run.
a place kicker sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like you have your steps
song.
measured off.
Yeah. What'd you say?
It's like the Paula Abdul song.
1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah. See, he knows.
Opposites track.
I think I would have gotten there.
Yeah, I think so.
Get there faster.
Man.
Did you lose your train of thought?
Yes, I did. Okay. So he asked if it's called much, if he needs to worry about it. I honestly think I see it called more on the amateur side of things than I do the professional side of things. And
unless it's egregious, most people don't call it.
Exactly. Especially in his situation where it's in the middle of a fairway.
Yep.
One kind of small tip that I will give you, if you're missing it by, say, a foot, don't mark it. Just use the disc that's there. Don't put your mini down, because that gives you a larger target to hit. Especially with the new rule, It does give you a larger target to hit, and mentally, it really does help with the footing. So,
I'll do the same, especially in the fairway, unless I'm throwing that disc again.
That's the only time. I'm putting. If I'm putting, I'll mark it.
I'll mark it every time I'm putting. But otherwise, if I'm not throwing that disc, I'm leaving it there.
Exactly.
The target area behind the disc is technically the same size, but it just feels easier to hit when it's a full disc.
Exactly.
So Chaser said it on here, and it's kind of just exactly like what you said, Bobby. I think, or maybe I don't. One of y'all said it. Sorry, but how place kickers do, like you take a couple steps back over to the side, but when you step back, that's how many steps it's going to take you to get there. So work on
your full run up.
Yeah. So work on getting your footwork
run backwards
consistent, because then like Eric will never have to do that because he knows how far his steps go because he's done it so many times. But when you first start out, I mean,
you have no idea.
I think everybody has trouble measuring that out properly. So until you have a good feel for that, kind of give yourself a practice run up, start at a spot, give yourself a practice run up and feel what those steps feel like.
Yeah.
And then do that. Yeah. It's probably a good way to go about it.
Excellent. All right. Let's see. I did not find the next question.
Okay.
Oh, no, I did. I'm sorry. This one was from Jordan. I was wondering how to best work on timing. That seems to be the biggest problem with my form right now, and it is holding me back on a lot of my drives. Thanks. Love the podcast and always enjoy watching.
Timing is I think it's one of the hardest things in disc golf if it doesn't just come naturally to you. And there's some people who really piece out their timing a lot more than others. Some people just like, you just get it. That's just how
comes natural.
It's how your body works. But some people have to think about it a lot. And so I know that Danny's put out a video about timing in particular. I would go check that out and make sure that kind of the landmarks that you're hitting at the right time. That's kind of like what you talked about that he was teaching you before, that your reach back is too early. That's a timing issue, right? So ideally you really want your reach back to kind of start as your hips start to turn backwards, right? Yeah. So when you're in your X step, if you're a right-handed player, when your left foot is starting to go behind, that's when you want your hips to turn back. That's when you want your shoulder to turn back. And then as your plant foot or your right foot is hitting the ground, that's kind of when you start that forward motion. If you start it earlier, you're going to do bad stuff. If you start it later, you're not going to reach your full potential.
Which is also bad stuff.
All of it's bad stuff. Mm-hmm. So really, you just kind of want those things to be in line with one another. And it's going to help you a lot to, video yourself. And then, just make sure that you're mimicking what you see top players do, what you see those instructional videos do. And,
excellent.
Danny's actually on the chat and he says, peak your reach back when your front foot touches the ground. So
is he driving?
Yeah, he's probably driving and watching at the same time.
Know.
And answering, and on Discord answering Apex questions.
Hey, respect, dude. He's killing the game.
And combing his mustache.
But that's true.
No, twirling it.
Oh, for real.
But he's saying kind of the same thing that we're talking about. As your front foot hits the ground, that's when your reach back should be at its farthest back. That's when you start pulling forward.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, Robert, thank you for answering that question about
timing.
You
suck.
You know how long?
You are so
wait.
It wasn't meta.
You know how long he's been waiting to say that since he read the word timing in that question.
What joke can I tell? Oh yes. Okay. Here it is.
I got it. Shut up, Robert.
For him to finish.
I was going to do it at
Danny,
the
shut
intro.
Up. No, Danny, shut. Hey, come on.
I was going to do the intro, but you'd already started talking. All right, this one is from Zach. Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man, the podcast is my favorite part of my week.
Nice.
I'm having trouble getting pressure with my thumb on top of the discs. It seems to just kind of slide around with no real solid contact. This isn't as bad on Prime as it is on Lucid. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Come to Southern California sometime for some tacos better than Torchy's.
I'm interested.
Where at? In Southern California.
Probably a local. Hole in the wall type place. It's delicious, like El Marmol.
I think when's the last time? Torchy's has been a while.
Waco.
Jeez. Okay, so what? Pressure, thumb pressure.
It's been so much longer for me.
Yeah.
You guys didn't invite me.
Sorry, dude.
You could have went to Waco.
No, I couldn't have.
Why not?
I was out of town.
Yeah. Oh,
what say you about thumb pressure?
Thumb pressure for me, I honestly don't concentrate super hard on pushing my thumb down. For me, it's not a super hard, firm grip on it. I barely have the disc in my hand. Like if you came up behind me, you could probably knock it out. You know what I mean? Would be my guess.
Yeah, if you're a jerk.
Probably not, but I mean, so I guess with my particular grip.
Oh, how convenient that we have a clear disc for us to look at.
Sorry, audio.
Yeah, that should be our talking or our teaching.
But honestly, I just kind of have a nice. Typically, where the rim meets the flight plate is where I like to keep my thumb.
Pretty close
around that area, depending on how big of a rim the disc is. But that's usually where I keep it. And honestly, most of my pressure is between my thumb and my index finger.
Same.
That's where I keep the majority of it. It's like a pinch right there. So it's not like I'm trying to keep my thumb up or flat or way in. I see people have it way in like that. And it's just
some
for me, I lose consistency that way.
It
comes out weird. So around that flight plate where it meets the rim is ideal for me to have a nice firm, like handshake grip on it. Not super hard, because I feel like the super harder that I grip the disc, the more wobbly it comes out or the inconsistent flights I get. So that's kind of like where I like to grip it. I don't have a whole lot of pressure down on the thumb, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm
majority of it is my index finger pressuring up.
Yeah, it's not for me, my grip isn't so hard that I feel like, I'm really straining a lot, but it's hard enough that if you try to pull the disc out of my hand, you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, I mean, I'm the same as you. That index and the thumb pinch, I think, is the key.
And it's like the last point of contact. How about you, Bobby?
Jason?
I can't see that.
Oh, sorry. I was probably gripping that incorrectly, but
I don't use my thumb at all. It just kind of hangs out at the top.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen Anthon throw?
I keep it underneath.
No.
Okay.
I
He
have,
releases
but I
his
haven't paid
thumb
attention.
on the way back.
Dude, yes, I'm telling you, like as he's pulling back here, I'm going to hold it to the camera as if I'm reaching back. The disc does this in his hand, and then he grabs it and goes. It's crazy.
So for audio listeners, he basically just lifted his thumb off the
and
disc.
some of his fingers. It's floating for a second. It's so good. You have to watch it. It's crazy.
It's like a trick shot.
I mean, I don't know how to describe. I guess like we're kind of close to what you said, Eric, where the
flight plate meets the rim on the top. Granted, it's a little more difficult on that one because it's a mid-range.
Right.
Now on a driver, it's a little easier to...
All right, next question comes from Alan. I am new to playing tournaments. I've been playing for 1 year and have joined the PDJ, but a buddy and I want to play a double tournament that says it's a PDJ XC tier event.
XC.
Since it is a sanctioned event, will it be a rated round, and how would you be rated when playing as a team?
Doubles? No.
It will not be rated as doubles.
They may throw a
They'll
rating
give you a
up
rating
there,
most
but
likely, but it won't count.
It will never count for anything. So easy. Doubles rounds are never rated.
Yep. Oh. They should rate partners.
They should rate doubles. Our Lime Warrior Open rounds.
Oh yeah. Yes. That was
Lance wants to know.
Easy ratings boost.
Perfect.
How far do you throw, Bobby? When I'm watching the Is This Disc Right For You videos, it would be good to know how far those discs are being thrown by the man representing us noodle arms out there. How far do I throw?
I would say, depending on the disc, obviously, but I would say anywhere from
6 to 650.
Yeah.
Between 6 and
you literally broke
6
your
feet.
neck. You literally broke your neck.
No, I thought you were going to say 6 feet
tape.
and something, but then you said 650, and I was like, okay, that's funny.
I would say anywhere from 260 to like 330.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that span. I mean,
I was going to be in there as well.
Kind of a wide variety there, but
there you go. Alex wants to know, on colder/windy days, how do you prevent your hand from getting too dry without using lotion on your throwing have?
I stay inside.
When it's too windy, I don't play disc golf.
When it's too windy and too cold,
yeah,
that's a double negative.
Okay, so what I've started doing, and this is not great for keeping your hand dry, but for getting a good grip on the disc, this is what I do. I lick my thumb, which is some people think is kind of gross, but lick my thumb and then kind of just touch my other fingers with it. And once you do that, it's just
tacky.
a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It gives you a little tack on the disc, and it's way easier to grip. I've also seen people kind of like, when it's cold outside, you put your hands together and like you're trying to keep them warm, so you just breathe into them. I've seen people do that on the side of the disc.
Yep, I've done that.
And then that gives you kind of that little bit of moisture that once it dries really quickly, obviously, it allows you to grip the disc a little bit better.
I've done that, but I've also done like a dynamic dirt bag.
Yeah.
With some climber's chalk or
that's good as well.
Or a whale sack, slap it on there a few times, and nice grippiness to it.
Yeah.
You know
sorry, your hands. If you do too much moisture stuff, your hands can get pretty like dry and crackly and stuff like that. I would say I will deal with that over having hands that are too slick or oily or moist. Everyone's favorite word, moist. I would definitely err on the side of having more dry hands. Everyone loves the word moist. It's well known.
So
it's true.
Usually what I do is I go to the grocery store and I grab a bag of Cheetos. You know the orange stuff?
Cheetos?
Yeah, the orange you get on your hand. That is a really good gripping agent. I highly suggest everybody try it.
Yeah.
All I see in my screen is your hand just going like this underneath my face.
Cheetos.
Obviously, I'm kidding. Next one comes from Ducky Fresh.
Douglas?
What's up, Doug? He just walked by.
He's going to say, hey, how do I tournament direct the GBO? Any suggestions are welcome.
All right, this This is a long question. Okay. The speed and flight numbers of the new Dynamic Discs Raider, new Innova Corvette, and Legacy Outlaw are different.
Yeah. They
13.5 negative 0.53 versus 14.6 negative 1.2 versus 12.5 negative 1.3 respectively.
Great.
While the flight paths on infinitediscs.com are quite the same, with the same endpoint just under 450 feet. Do you all know how this might be and how to take into consideration the same flight and distance with different speeds when looking for a new disc in the distance stability range? I do. Numbers don't matter.
Okay. Numbers matter.
They matter a little bit.
But
that's a better headline.
Right. That's true. You also can't really compare across companies, right? Because I think the only number that is actually like readily verifiable, like empirically you could say this is the correct number is speed. Because it has to do with rim width. That's how almost everybody does it. That's certainly how we do it. So rim width is the one that determines speed. Glide, turn, and fade are entirely subjective. We test them as much as we can whenever we come up with flight numbers. We try to get them as close as we can to how we think the disc is intended to fly. Maybe not how it flies specifically for us, but how we think the disc was intended to fly. But that's entirely subjective. That's why maybe the Corvette and I don't remember what the Legacy
Outlaw.
The Outlaw, yeah. Maybe those fly the same for you. Maybe and flight charts are like flight charts are great as really basic tools, but they're never going to tell the whole story, right? And they're different from person to person. A Raider flight chart for Eric, say he threw 5 shots, and you drew those on a flight chart, like even with an overhead camera or something. They would look different from my 5 shots. They would look different from Anthony's. They'd look different from Bobby's. So those flight charts are a very inexact science, right? It's more just saying what the disc should be or is supposed to be.
Yeah, just read what the disc is supposed to be or what it's intended to do.
Yeah,
and then go from there.
Honestly, and I know this is a cop-out answer, but the best thing you can do is just try the discs.
Just buy 5 Raiders.
Buy 5 Emacs while you're at it.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah, add to the cart.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, that is absolutely the best way to do it. Try the discs for yourself. That's going to be the best way to learn which ones are best for you. We have some videos that actually paint a little bit more of a picture called "Is This Disc Right for You?" You can check those out for our discs. We don't do them with other manufacturers' discs though.
No.
And we have I realized the other night
we've got some to do.
Yeah, we've got a lot to do.
Y'all got to get down to business.
We'll do it next week.
Yeah.
Killing in my business.
I'll just fill my bag with them, and then you can come and we'll throw them during my round.
We'll just tell everybody, wait, hold on. Hey, technically, age-wise, I could be doing it.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel has a question. I'm getting beat up on the internet for saying my Lucid Patrol from last year's Trilogy Challenge got more stable from where? I've heard this happen, but it's very rare. Can you give some insight on this phenomenon? The disc started very understable, and I used it for hyzer flips that finished right, but over the course of a year, it got more stable, and I had to adjust my release angle to achieve similar flights. I took it to a field and confirmed compared to the other discs in my bag.
I've seen this happen before. A disc gets more stable as it beats in. I've definitely experienced it. I don't know how, or I don't know why, but I've seen it. Trust me.
Is your name Daniel?
Did you submit this question?
Yeah.
Maybe this has happened to me,
but no. I've seen it with some old truths, some Emacs that, and maybe it's just a mental thing that I felt like it was going to be less stable, and it just tends to be. And mentally, I'm putting more hyzer on it, but yeah, I've experienced this.
I think here's 2 possibilities. I would say. Both of these are more on the unlikely side, but let's just hit it. One would be that maybe your form has gotten better and you don't have as much off-axis torque as before. If you do have off-axis torque, it's going to make discs act more understable than they really are because it's coming out wobbly and all that stuff. So that's going to make a disc act more understable. If you smooth that out and your release angles match your release angles match your reach back and your hit point and your follow through, then disc will act actually more overstable because they're not wobbling out of the gate, more overstable than you're used to. So that's one possibility, and that's probably the more likely one. The other would be, I've seen this happen to a disc because when discs lose stability, a lot of times it's because they create waves in the rim, the flight plate, and things like that. If you put the disc away for a while, sometimes, and it's amongst other discs or in a hot environment or something like that.
They sit around and talk.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, you should be more stable. Yeah. Some of those waves correct themselves because they're pressed between other discs or something like that. So technically that could be the case, but those are the only two guesses I got for you.
So you can tell your friends the Disc Golf Answer Man said it is a possibility.
Yeah.
I just want
small, but a possibility.
This one's from Josh. Obviously, it's too late this year to host a new amateur match play bracket, but for future reference, is there a minimum requirement for the course used in the local bracket? The nearest bracket currently is about 2 hours away, so I'm considering running one in my town next year, but we only have a small 9-hole putt and approach style course.
Do it.
You can just play it twice.
Just play it, twice.
It's got to be 18 holes. I think that's the only requirement.
This one is from Kong Meng.
At least 18, maybe.
No,
I think it has to be 18.
I think it's 18.
All right, discgolfmatchplay.com.
Either way, go through the loop twice. Yeah. You can do it. Yeah, absolutely.
You can do it.
There's a doubles limit up, maybe. You maybe do it then.
Yeah. What?
Hello, I have a question, but before I ask, I just want to give a shout out to a Westside team member, Troy Pope Katzer.
Katzer
is a classmate who introduced me to the sport. Nice.
Way to go, Troy.
And this podcast. Nice, Troy. And he has gone out of his way to help me learn for what I wanted to give him. And for that, I wanted to give him some recognition. That being said, our class together is over, and I wanted to ask him, but I'll ask you guys instead. Is there a place for me to find official rules? If so, where? Thanks, and have a great day. You'll want to go to pdga.com. And I'm going to see. There's got to be a specific link. Yeah, right there at the very top. You'll see a menu tab that says rules, and it has everything you'll need to know about disc golf.
Yep.
As far as the rules.
And then some.
Easy peasy.
If you join the PDJ, become a member, they actually send you a competition handbook.
A rule book, yep.
This one is from Kyle. Hey, all, I recently got a Paige Bjerkes Lucid X Getaway, and I love it.
Nice.
But made me realize I have no idea what makes it different than Lucid Getaway. What is the difference between Lucid and Lucid X?
Stiffness. It's just a different type of blend of plastic.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit more stiffer.
Different polymers. No, I don't know if it's polymers.
In return, it could just be a whole nother plastic. But in return, it typically makes the disc more overstable.
Yep. In general, that's the case. Yep.
So
there you go.
In the summer, you may not even be able to tell the difference because it depends on where you're at, I guess. If it's super hot, it is really a little bit more gummy than I thought it was going to be. And I enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right. One more speak pipe question. And this one is from Anonymous. So I'll keep my hand on the mute button.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man crew. This is Andrew out of Northern Arizona. I had a question about the Classic Blend Moonshine Team Warden disc I got. I was just curious, does it have more stability than a normal regular Classic Blend Warden? Like how a Lucid Moonshine blend would be more stable than a Lucid plastic? Does that also account for the Classic Blend? And my second question is,
good question. I don't think it makes much of a difference in the more baseline plastics. Whoops.
Maybe a touch, but probably not noticeable.
Not super noticeable, yeah. But the Prime Moonshine seemed to be about the same as Prime, same with Classic, same with Blend and Blend Moonshine, yeah.
Got it?
Yep.
That second part.
Played in the amateur match play singles recently, and it was brought to the group's attention that one of the players is a professional playing. He was rated below 970. However, they were wondering how it would work if he had been taking cash prior to the event. They said he had earned a few $1,000s already. How do you guys feel about a pro who's been accepting cash already and is participating in the amateur match championship? I would love to hear your answers. Thanks. Bye.
Excuse me.
Well, the stipulation for that is you must be 970 and below at the beginning of the year. Yep. So I'm actually okay with it because, I mean, who knows how they accepted the cash. Maybe they, played in a local event and got last cash, and they played out of their mind that weekend. And if you say you can't accept cash, well, there goes a lot of potential competitors for the match play. I don't know. I just personally think if you're 970 and below, that qualifies for advanced in the PDGA. So I think it should qualify for us as well.
To be fair, anything qualifies for advanced in the PDGA.
That's true.
You could be 1020 and
that's
playing
true.
amateur.
You're not wrong.
Advanced
You're not wrong. You're not wrong there. But
yeah, I'm with you. That's more of the ratings that you normally see in advanced. Yeah, that's. We haven't come up with a way to combat that necessarily, other than that a 960 rated professional player who's accepted cash and a 960 rated amateur who hasn't, based on the PDGA system, they're the same. They're expected to play around the same at most courses that they play. And so we don't feel like one of them has an advantage over the other just because they play a different division necessarily.
There's no perfect solution just yet that we've come up with. This is only our second year doing it. It's only going to get better.
Yep. That's it.
That it?
Yep, that's it.
All right, let's look at our skip ace.
Hey, we did pretty good this week.
Did we? Let me look.
For us. much better than our previous weeks.
That's because I was here.
31.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know.
Yes, that's correct.
Not a lot of you are eligible to win now because we did good. Let's see who gave us some good
how many
stuff.
was it last week? Like 200 people?
300.
No, it was like 3 pages.
It's not a big deal, but not our best showing.
So looks like Garrett, of course, got us a lot because did he win? No.
Double G
did not win, but he
was doing good
Macbeth
for a while.
won. He was leading going into the final day.
No, I knew I saw his name.
Second or third, I don't remember.
And we changed it to Garrett at the last second.
Yep. Nailed it.
How did Missy Gannon lose? How do you lose points?
If you're underneath a certain threshold, so that you couldn't just stack like 1050, 1050, 1045, 1040, and then just pick the lowest rated female player or male player or something like that.
But what if we weren't doing that? Why do we still get penalized?
Because you have to have the same system for everybody.
But what if she's accepted cash?
Yeah, then she could still play in U.S. Amateur Match Play Championship. Yeah,
it's true.
I texted Missy about it. She said she was fully committed all weekend, just had a couple bad breaks. And
you were like, wait, you messed
not
up
about this, obviously. I just
I know.
No, you jerk.
What kind of team manager are you?
No, part of my job is to keep up with people, but I've just once. It's just hard being out on the road and knowing that somebody cares, I think, is helpful.
Oh, right? Sure. Absolutely.
So anyway, I texted her about that and she said, yeah, she was committed. Just a couple bad breaks. Didn't go her way. Yep.
It happens.
So Garrett Dickerson and Eagle got us the top points. Eric Oakley, what did he finish at? He didn't get
I think 13th.
13th. Okay. So, and of course, Paige Pierce winning it got us the max points there.
Birdie the last hole to win it.
Yep. Pretty sick. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Yeah.
So only, let's see, we were 31. So only 9,
carry the
10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Bobby.
What?
If we are in 31st place.
Yeah, but see, what confuses me because some people tied for 9th.
Well, yeah.
We're still 31
We're still
people?
in 30.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure.
Were you counting them all?
No.
I was going to count all the nines.
Eventually
get to 30.
You see, after the nines,
I'm sorry, man.
It?
That's funny.
All right, 1 through 30.
If we got 31st, how many people beat us?
15th is the winner.
I apologize.
Who it is?
Who that is?
Tim Glass.
All right, Tim.
All right,
Tim Glass. Who was his big winners?
Tim. He probably picked Macbeth.
He actually did pick Macbeth.
Yeah, he did.
He picked Lazat, Dickerson, Austin, and Reed.
Yeah. Cool.
So he got points that way, and he picked Katrina and Vanessa.
What were our total points there, Bobby?
Our total points was 1,006.
Sweet. And the winning score was 11.
97.
674.
So, all right, Tim Glass. So if you're if you're listening, make sure you take a screenshot of you being logged in and then send it to Bobby at dynamicdiscs.com and we'll get you a goodie out to you.
Giddy.
I can't figure out how to get to the Disc Golf Pro Tour Fantasy one.
Yeah, they quit doing it. I don't know.
I was like, I don't think they did.
They have the page for it, but I can't get the link to pick our winner on there.
Well, while you're looking for it,
Why is it not on
Bobby, I'm going to give a shout out.
Yeah.
This weekend, not only are the Lucid X going to be available here, but this Friday, you can pick up the Lucid X Trespass at dynamicdisc.com.
Hey.
Why can't
Also,
I
you can
see
pick
it?
up what else is available? The Wardens,
The
Waffle
AJ
Warden.
Risley Hybrid Waffle Warden
And then,
Opto X Compass Great
yes,
Shoe.
yep, those 3 discs, the Team Series disc releasing this Friday at dynamicdisc.com or your favorite retailer online. They are available in store now. So if you have a store that you go to, go there now and pick one up or
Yep.
10.
Got to check them out. We've
And
still
I will
got
say-
a few of the others left too.
I will say the Lucid X Trespass this year, I've been throwing it and it is amazing.
Fantastic.
It is better than last year's. It is more dome, a little more stable, such a good forehand disc. Oh, go pick up a couple.
You're going to
And
like it.
There's some moonshine ones.
Come on. Moonshine Lucid X.
So sick.
Come on, dude.
Man,
Come
love
on,
it.
dude.
Love
All right, so I'll have to figure out the Disc Golf Pro Tour Fantasy one, and we'll pick a winner. They're the ones who send out the prizes. So if you want to do the Disc Golf Pro Tour, we'll go to discgolfprotour.com/fantasy. If you want to do the Fantasy Disc Golf with Johnny V, that's
Johnny V.
skipace.com.
Skip Ace.
So, all right, real quick, since we're not going to be here next week doing a show, we're going to try to see if we can get Smashbox, but just in case we don't, let's do our GBO picks.
Pick number 1,
Pick number 1,
Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown.
To be present at every day of the event. Write it down.
I don't know.
Nah, he's
Why
going to
does it
get
have
sick.
Kobe Geist, but it has 0?
He's going to sleep in.
Kobe Juice. I don't know.
All right, so who's our pick number 1?
Let me open it up. Ski Pace.
Skipace.com. It's hard not to pick Eagle.
Yep. I'm in the same boat.
All right, Eagle is a good pick.
Past champ last year. Returning champ, correct?
Yep.
And the course just sets up really well for Mr. McMahon.
Yep. It really does.
Even with the changes? I mean, obviously, but
Yeah.
I didn't know if some of the changes are going to give him some challenges.
No, I don't think so.
With as good a forehand as he has too, it opens up a few places on the course that not everybody has.
Like the whole new hole number 9
Yep.
is going to be, if you've got a forehand, that's...
You'll be pleased. You're gonna like it. All right, so let's drop Eagle.
Let's drop
in there.
Eagle's name.
Should we put Paige Pierce in there already since she's doing pretty good lately?
I'll take Paige to win. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. She's one of the longer throwers on tour. Now they are playing 7 short tees and 2 short basket placements. So I think the FPO field is going to be very competitive this year.
Okay. Who's our pick number 2 for MPO?
Calvin? Big arm.
Yeah, that's who I've got highlighted here.
He is undefeated on golf courses this year.
Is he?
It's a good
I
start.
don't know. He won Vegas. It's the only other one that I know of that he's played. So
All right,
Yep.
Calvin. That's
I
a
like
big
Calvin.
number. 2940 left.
I like somebody on our team who played well here last year.
me.
It was Eric. It was
Oh, AJ,
Alan Risley, Alan Jr.
a senior.
No, AJ played pretty darn well out here last year. I'd like to throw him in there.
What we got for our female pick number 2?
We gotta do. Let's see.
I want to put Bjorkis.
Great.
I would love to put Bjerkes.
That leaves us with 974.
Right.
That's kind of handcuffing ourselves a bit.
Yeah. Whoa.
I think we need to either switch out Paige Pierce or Paige Bjerkes to get ourselves some points back. Although I do think those two women are going to go 1 and 2 in some way.
Right, but do we risk getting the points with them?
It works.
sacrifice
It
for
works the same on the men's side. If you
Or
have
do you drop
somebody who,
Calvin?
yeah, you could, but for whom?
I mean, I know Yuli's not much lower rated than that, and he's been playing well.
Yeah, we could drop him in there. That gives us 987. That opens up Rick's pretty good out here. Billy Ingles hitting aces out here 24/7.
I would say one time. He's hit aces out here one time.
Oh, okay.
But it was number 2 on Sports Center.
Yeah, pretty sick.
Yeah.
I like Rick Steeler. He's good at disc golf.
Sure.
I'm going to put him in for right now, and then we can We can look back up here for a second.
That leaves us 1 point left.
Yep. Which is a good use of points, assuming that everybody plays well. So I'm good with it. I know that Rick was injured earlier this year.
Ooh.
Let me look. See if he's.
Who would we take out if we took out?
Who do you have in right now, Bobby?
For female is Paige Pierce, Paige Bjork.
No, MBO.
Eagle, Yuli, AJ, and Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just run with it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or
Let's get
is
it.
there anybody rated 1 point higher than Yuli that you would go with?
No.
Okay.
It's either Conrad or lower.
I think that's it then.
Let's get it.
How has Conrad ever done well at GBO?
He's not killing it this year like he did last year, but the courses do set up for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
Especially since we added 4 feet of extra tee pad to every hole.
How did he do last year? Do you remember?
I do not remember, but I can look.
I think I like the way it is.
You like Yuli over
Yuli's
Conrad?
been playing solid golf this year. He
I
really
agree.
has.
All right, who's our alternate on at female?
Katrina? Is that doable?
No, it has to be underneath.
It's either
Bjorkis.
Allen, Fakis, Rebecca Cox, Madison.
I'd say Rebecca Cox.
I think Rebecca's a great pick.
All right, for guys.
I think she could be top 3
Yeah.
on her own. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, as soon as Rebecca gets that W under her belt, she's going to just start killing it.
I'm gonna take Jared Neal. Jared's actually been playing pretty well this year. He's a Team DD guy.
Oh, nice.
And he
I didn't
throws
know he's
a
coming.
mile, dude. He throws so far.
All right, Jared
Good at
Neal's
that.
alternate.
I like it.
Save picks. We are good to go. All right, guys. Remember, Skip Ace Fantasy Disc Golf, skipace.com. I'm hoping by now you are joined in our group. If not, please join our group. Just go to join group, join DGAM, use passcode DGAM. And as you heard earlier, we give away prizes to people that beat us in our
Which doesn't
picks.
happen very often.
Sometimes it's 300 people. Sometimes it's 30 people.
Yes.
Well, unless you count. No, I'm playing.
But what about the people tied for 9th?
Anyway, so all right, so that's it for the show. Next coming up is the after show. So you two people get your questions in, but for our audio listeners, hopefully, I know that I actually got some messages saying that they enjoyed that we recorded the after show for the audio. So, but we keep it separate just in case you don't want to be part of that. You don't want to hear us just jibber jabbing about stuff. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will skip next week unless we can talk Smashbox into doing an episode. We'll do a special episode for GBO, but unless that happens, we will see you the week after Glass One Open.
Yeah.
Remember, glass1open.com, YouTube, Jomez, Parsave, Dynamic Discs, Alyssa Van Lannen, Smashbox. We're just going to have all kinds of stuff. Make sure you follow the Facebook page on Glass One Open. Make sure you download the Glass One Open mobile app. Make sure that you go to glass1open.com and make sure you take part or watch.
Yeah.